welcome back. First of all, Happy New Year to everybody and the auntie and grandmother and everybody else, uncle and thing. But yeah, excited to be back, man. House Bros had a little break like everybody else. We took a break for the holidays. You guys had a good holiday or what?
Eat enough food, lots of food.
As you should.
But
What else you should be doing? That's what I time
you
for.
know, exactly. So no apologies. Had to hit the gym today to
hmm
burn off the weight,
hmm
but I'm here now, ready to get into
Nice,
the show.
nice, man. Nice. I hope everybody back home watching had a good holiday season as well. We back and we ready for. I don't know if this is the second half of NBA season yet. I think it's pretty
Marquee.
close though.
It is
We
almost
can't
there.
hear you, Rayvon.
Not
Yeah,
quite, but
it's
close-ish.
almost
Yeah,
there. Yeah, almost
yeah.
there.
Almost
Almost
to
there.
the All Star break is usually the measure for the halfway point of the NBA season. But in terms of amount of games played, we pretty much there because like most teams
Yeah,
play about
40,
40
40,
something,
41.
41 or so
Yeah,
games right
40,
now.
41.
Yeah.
we
So
close. We close there. Anyways, though, people, we got a few good topics to talk about. If you've been following NBA, it's been crazy buckets going on, but we get into that a little later. But we just want to officially welcome you to Astro Bros channel. If you are new and you enjoy what you are about to see, please hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel because we'll be doing this weekly and as often as we possibly can in between. And then also go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. We post some stuff on there as well, and you get updates as to when we're going to go live. It's usually on Sundays or on Mondays, so stay tuned for that. Generally speaking, guys, how are we doing? Like, it was a good Christmas break, yeah, but how everybody doing? Everybody cool?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just relaxing, having some fun, staying focused, trying to catch up with the NBA. I've been on the football vibe for quite some time. Now trying to get
Yeah,
back to
we
the
we just
basketball
had our
vibe.
FIFA World Cup. That
You know
was
exactly,
epic stuff.
exactly. So now just trying to shift my focus, my mentality back to the NBA. Get ready to
Fair
see what
enough.
happened to my Lakers. See what they up to.
The Lakers at the bottom of the tablecloth right now.
Yeah, I heard they not been doing well. I heard they not been doing well. But don't worry.
We can't hear you, Rayvon. I don't know you like you
sorry,
cutting in and out.
sorry. As I just said, the
Mhm.
the standings in the West is a nightmare, truthfully, for any team. Because as I say, from six all the way down to 13, I think Lakers is 13th, pretty much a game or two behind one another. So even though the Lakers been terrible to start the season, they're still in a position where they could claim what the standings if they would have continued their winning streak that they were on. But if they string together like a couple of wins, like five or so, and right now
They can move straight to
yeah,
fourth.
yeah, they could go pretty far up if they find some consistencies there. And LeBron been bringing up his intensity of play as of
Mhm.
late. Um, so there is a chance for
Ma-
them to get a little bit further.
Yeah, be dropping these 30-point pieces, 40
Exactly.
point pieces. You know what I mean? Dropping them. He dropped one on his birthday too, so that
Exactly.
was special.
Did Lakers win on his birthday or no?
I don't think they got a W. No, I don't
I,
think they got a W.
I,
Did they get a
I
W?
can't remember. Genuinely, I
It
genuinely
was
If
all
you
can't
can't
about
remember.
remember, it's
it was all
probably
it was
not.
all, it was all about LeBron for that game. It was all about LeBron. 30th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, people, we can dive right into the content. We don't want to keep you guys too long. Um, Prediction results. So before we actually went on break, we had one of those prediction weeks where your boy and Rayvon basically went against each other for the most part. And one body get off. I was surprised. I That week was terrible for me.
Yeah.
I was in Hakeem's shoes, so to speak. Like,
Hakeem, don't let he call it you name like that.
Hey, man. I used to be in the lead, and all of a sudden, I gone for a couple of weeks and realized the bottom of the pack or just about. These something fishy about these results.
Then it fishy.
nah, it's you, buddy.
It's me.
It's you.
It gotta be you.
So
Uh,
what,
but yeah, like I gotta take my hat to Raymond. I ain't wearing none today, but bro, I don't know how you pull that off, to be honest.
I know either.
But
right? So I already know how many points you would have had. You had Ray
1 point, bro. 1 point.
1 point.
One measly point. I had this man up like
But
3 or something. So and then the man get them 3 straight. And then obviously the prediction for the Christmas Day games, I kind of catch back a little bit because I was on game.
but
But
I was always on you six though, Hansel. For the entire time, like I he was
yeah,
either
but
one or
it
two
wasn't
points
by
ahead of
one
me.
point, no.
He was
Nah,
either
but it
he was
wasn't by 1 point.
man. I don't think you Brett past me, but
We
even
need,
four or
we need,
anything
we
like
need,
that.
we need an independent man
Well, not four,
to
but
keep track of these scores.
we
Man,
gotta
no
follow the
man.
IG page for these scores. Lifetime on scoring. But yeah, like I said, um, good comeback, but I can try to pull away again. I can try to be on this streak that the Nets was on
Mhm.
recently, that they're looking to start back to. It seems like so we can get there for sure. Um, I don't know anything to about the predictions,
Man, no
but
man. I feel like them a little bit in the past now. Like the NBA has moved so fast. Like that was only
yeah,
2 weeks ago. Our last set of predictions would have been the Christmas ones, and we take a little break for the holidays, and I didn't really want to revisit them. I guess there was quite a bit of games. Had some
yeah, because
decent
it hurt
games.
too.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. It's true. It did hurt. I got like two of them right, which is embarrassing. The Knicks really let me down.
Yeah,
Um, but
Is he next,
hey,
man?
is he
Is he
next?
next?
Yeah, I was about to say,
Is
is
he
he
next?
next?
Come
So
on, man.
hey, there's that as
After I
well.
leave for a long time.
I
There's
learned my
that as well.
lesson. Don't bet on them nor the Lakers.
hey,
Don't play
hey.
Like, you can tickle this man here, no?
against them and lose than to bet for them and lose. You know what I mean? Like I
Hey.
will feel super bad if I had to see that them on a streak, bet for them and lose, and that's what happened early up in the season. But that's enough talk for the predictions so far. Um, I see Ray one got a talking point here that's pretty interesting, so I can dive right into it. I ain't even wasting time. So your boy Hans, myself, had the opportunity to go visit Nets game against Raptors at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto.
Big
I ain't
man
gonna lie,
things.
fam.
How was it? How was
Big
it?
man things.
I ain't gonna lie, right?
Energy must be
I ain't really
crazy.
gotta get you guys at a game.
It's
We
true.
gotta plan a time where we could like just save up saying and go and visit a game because I telling you, the arena was hot and it's Toronto, so the fans was crazy around me. I was the only man in my section I feel like cheering for Nets. And that's a dangerous game
Yeah,
to play.
you-
You know what I
You're a
mean?
well
Yeah,
one
come
boy,
on,
Han. So
man.
he's a
Come on,
well
come
one.
on. Hey, you're a brave man.
Gonna need people play
That's a
Istanbul.
dangerous game to play because like you're surrounded by a sea of red.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And people cheering and stuff for Toronto. No, mind you, I was a basketball fan on the night. So
I want to say a
Black-
good basketball game.
yeah, like when Van Vliet was going off, like he went off early in the game. Like he was hitting them trees like nothing. So I was a fan of the basketball, and I was cheering for Raptors in terms of saying, well, hey, this is a good play, that's a good game, nice shot, blah blah blah. But when it come to the Nets, no, I was the only man talking. I ain't hear nobody like saying good shot, that's a nice shot with Kyrie. Nothing, so like the man was
Nothing.
silent.
You can't come in people play this game also.
Yeah. Home court, you know.
Exactly.
Yo,
Home court advantage.
That's
Red,
some no,
that's how it's supposed to be.
somebody had a soccer song talking about that you could get on in my house. I can't remember the lyrics, but I was
Beat
getting
me.
on in that house, big man. It was fun. I ain't gonna lie, it was fun. One of the surprising things is that you don't have to be courtside to have a good view. The way the arena is set up, is pretty, like, once you got a good eyesight, let me say, you'll be able to pick out the players and what's not, and you get a good view of the game. And the way the arena set up, people don't really block you unless they get up to go buy food or something like that. The halftime show was trash, so I'm not gonna spend time on it.
Straight off your back. Jeez.
What
Yeah,
That's
did
the
they
one thing.
had someone a unicorn juggling plates?
Big one. The man had the man had men on stilts with drums, like a snare drum and some sticks, trying to do tricks. And one of the mad tricks fail, and I think it was just terrible. So I really
I
want
had the same experience watching
talk about that.
it was at the Boston Celtics game on Christmas Day. Lady that is always like this Chinese lady that is always like flip like these dishes on top of she head.
Yeah.
You wanna ever see that one? You won't feel
Yeah, I've seen that
miserably
a
coming
million
onto the
times. But
end,
normally she's good. Normally she's on point.
normally
But
she wasn't on point on that game.
I don't.
She wasn't on point
so
at all.
that was a terrible experience. But I must say, like, the buzz going into the arena and like actually walking to the seats was kind of cool, because they had like people with music, like a what do you call that, a boombox basically, walking around with music and stuff like that, and they were like just getting the fans hyped and ready for the game, and that was pretty cool to be in that atmosphere before the game, like pre-game. And when I got to my seat, I thought that not many people would be there.
Really?
But like closer to the game start, it was packed. The house was packed.
Yeah, you
And,
want to make sure you get there on time.
say again?
They say you would want to make sure you get there on time. People don't want to miss a minute of the game.
Yeah,
Especially if you want to
exactly.
get.
But I mean, it's a in season game too, so people probably wasn't too worried about getting there a few minutes late or what's not. So I guess that is the general like vibe, I guess. So like, and plus you got to understand that traffic is a thing in Toronto. Like, it was crazy. I didn't want to get into that because I just here talking about the game, but Toronto traffic as well. Just know that people would, like, you give somebody a millimeter space and they can try to take it. So yeah, that was a totally different beast. But the game was good. A very good game. I don't know if you guys recall, but the game went down to the final shot. And like, if you guys heard the roars, even if you watch back the highlights, you would hear the roars of the fans when Scotty Barnes hit them 2 free throws. Like, it was insane. And it was like nail biting on the edge of your seat kind of game. Because if Kyrie didn't make the shot, it probably would have gone overtime. And one of my buddies was like, we want the game to go overtime. I was like, huh? Never yet.
Never.
And just like that, in 2-2s, Kyrie caught, sent Van Vliet to the shot, pull up behind the 3-point line, and nailed it. The house was dead. You could hear your heartbeat. Like, it was so silent, bro. And I guess, again, I was playing that dangerous game because I was the only body cheering, let's go, bro.
Lucky they might not put you out, huh?
Lucky like you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where, like, if all right, let's say Rayvon went to watch a Timberwolves game at some other house. Would you not express that you were happy that they won if they did win, or like if they were on a streak to coming back, if they were down or something, you would show some type of emotion and expression, right? Definitely. So it was the same thing. I think I went a little overboard though, to be honest.
You sound like you was a man that was about to get put out.
Say again?
So you sound like you was a man that was about to get put out.
Boy, people around me was everybody was cool around me, I would say, because like at the end of the game, I was shaking people's hand like good game, blah blah blah.
Wait,
and everybody has smells.
You meant play. You meant for the court.
I'm so sleep on the court.
Nah.
Take a jump shot.
It was more of a respect kind of thing though, where Like you were training for that team, I was training for this team. Good game. It was a good game. Like it was very exciting, and I would definitely go again. To be honest, it was that good of an experience. So next opportunity I get for sure, I would obviously like to do it with one of you guys or both. Where we go, we just watch a good game and enjoy the experience of an NBA game. It's really good.
Yeah,
It's really
that's
good. Not gonna
on my
lie.
bucket list. Being such a big NBA fan, never had the opportunity to do it as yet.
Coming soon, bro.
Yeah, coming soon for sure, for sure, for sure. So yeah, if it's saying that we could get to do together, that's saying that we could do a little vlog on or something like that
For
in the
sure.
future.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
you gonna see if
I
we
think
get some
even like
footage. You got any footage from the game? We gotta share some
bro.
footage of
No,
it from
bro.
the game. You gotta share
I
some
was
footage
just
from the
going to
game,
say
man.
because like when you're in the zone, right?
Yeah.
You don't be thinking about your
Yeah,
phone.
you're studying for the
Like
tall.
only only if you's like if you's one of people that always on your phone and you's gotta record everything or what's not, you will get some footage. But I got a few clips here and there from the times I say, all right, just let me pull up my phone to get a clip. But I don't got like a progressive type of
Footage,
like
yeah. When
yeah
you walking into
to
the
share.
arena,
Yeah,
you showing
well,
all the
I actually got a clip of that, but it's trash.
yeah,
So
I've
I ain't
heard
gonna share that. It's garbage. So I'm not gonna put that out there. But when you're in the zone and when you're in the game and you into the game, you don't want nobody to disturb you. The most annoying thing was people getting up during the game to
to walk
do
past.
whatever.
Yeah,
That
I
was
can imagine.
annoying. And I mean,
ready
it
to, you
is
ready
what
to
it
throw
is.
hands?
Say again?
You were ready to throw hands.
Nah, I was just I was just frustrated. I can't be the next fan in the sea of red and expect to
To start someone.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
for sure.
I'll get my shit easy. But that was the only annoying part. I feel like that's why they have timeouts and they have quarters so that if you gotta make a quick run to go and get something to eat or something, just do it then. Like
and so that the players don't die out there as well. As
that's
well.
that's true too. But you know what I mean though? Like use the opportunity to make your rounds. Don't offset people's experience by getting up and having to pass and what's not. And don't talk about if you in a row where you got a couple of friends that won't go and get some eat at the same time. You gotta get up for a few people, so you miss a little portions of the game and what's not, just trying to get people to get to the seats or get to where they need to get to. That was the only annoying part. But overall, like I said, the experience was a grand experience. Really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
What's up?
Can't hear you, Rayvon. I hear you saying.
Yeah, all of us soon, gang.
Yeah, for
We'll be
sure,
able
for sure.
to relay that too. So
I ain't gonna lie, football on my list too.
yeah, well, I feel like
A
that should be
football
on
game
everybody.
on
Yes,
my
we
list.
got you got
A
time
market.
to prepare for that for the next World Cup. That's for sure.
No, wait, I hear that the next World Cup gonna be in North America.
Yeah,
so
it's
Yeah,
Canada
it's in
and
USA,
yeah.
USA, Canada, and again a couple of games in Mexico.
Mexico.
mhm.
So that's saying
So
that
you know,
it may should
yeah.
too.
That sound easy.
Yeah.
That sound easy, boy.
Tickets
At least
at-
one game. It gotta be
Yeah.
at least one. Like I ain't gonna let that opportunity pass me up.
For
So
real.
I learned my lesson with F1. You gotta get your tickets early.
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 So by next year we gotta be buying tickets.
But that's if
oh
them
no,
come out.
Yeah, that,
oh no, when we start, yeah, you gotta be, oh no, 2023.
it's true.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let me transition though, guys, to what's been going on over the last couple of weeks in the NBA. There have been a lot of individual performances in the NBA, especially around that period that we was off where players just went off. A lot of players went berserk. You had KD hitting a lot of points. You had Jason Tatum hitting a lot of points. Luka went off as well. KD, like
Luka went off is an understatement. Truthfully.
even Donovan Mitchell was in the mix. Not to
He on
say
the
it
top
like
of the
this.
list.
Donovan
Yeah,
dropped 71.
Not like I don't know what's going on, and it's not like
That like a cricket score,
That
Hansel.
defense works on these guys. Say again?
71 not out. That's like a cricket score. 71 not out.
Oh yeah. But I actually want to talk about that individual performance with Donovan Mitchell, but in general, it seems like even good defensive players are unable to stop these guys. Talk to us about this, Rayvon. Is the system broken?
Like, there's a lot that goes into professional sports, and I just want to generalize it a little bit for a second, because the NBA, like anything else or anything that's televised, telecast, is kind of a form of, not kind of, it's a form of entertainment in sports, and so I think what happens is a lot of the people behind the scenes see the NBA as less of a, how to put it, uh, less of a sport and more of a product, in the sense that you want to try to attract more people. And what attracts people more than flashy things, flashy plays, people dunking on people, people scoring a bunch of points, people shooting trees from the half court line. And in order for you to make sure that you got the best product there, I just feel like there is a incentive for all these sports leagues to essentially empower the offensive player, because at the end of the day, those are the things that attract the average fan. The hardcore fan is going to stick with it no matter what. But
Yeah.
those that are going to make the numbers that brings you the big bucks. At the end of the day, everything does be money driven to some extent, and I think
Facts.
this is a example of how that philosophy trickles down into the sport. Uh, not saying that these guys don't have to have the skill and the fortitude to be able to put on these performances, but I think it starts at the top there, because as we know, it's hard to play defense in the NBA because the offensive player is always so favored, especially with how the rules have changed since the
Yeah.
2000s and stuff like that, where you had more grinded out type of tough defensive games back in the 90s, etc., etc. And changing the rules to allow offensive players more freedom. There was a whole thing with Jam around all the NBA players carrying, like all that stuff empowers the offensive player, and therefore you're going to, as players get more acclimated with playing this style, they're just going to get better and better and better. And just generally, when you look at the NBA on a whole, we just have a collective of a lot more skilled players as well. So like any night, somebody you might not even know could just go off a 30-point or 40-point game.
hmm
The skill component with the fact that it's so difficult to play defense now, or have an advantage playing defense in the NBA. So all of those things goes into it, and then just the NBA stars on the whole. I just feel like a lot of teams are focusing on the fact that, well, hey, we got the best player on the team, and he good at doing this. Why not just let him do this over and over because nobody can really stop him. So
Right.
Luka's 60-point triple double is basically the example of that. Donovan Mitchell, I think that game was born. His 71-point game was born out of the fact that his teammates couldn't even really produce anything, so he was the only offensive creator on the field, so he ain't really had a choice. But
Right.
like you know, just giving offensive players more leeway to explode essentially, and
I think refs is get a commission off for calls too,
I think
because
so.
But could you guys imagine, right? A game where Rudy Gobert type players are the main scorers on every team. Like you would be bored watching these kind of games. So like
But-
what everyone say, you go
but that's like saying being bored watching Wilt.
no. You
No,
can't
no.
compare Wilt Chamberlain, Rudy Gobert to Wilt Chamberlain. A man that scored
But
100
no,
Yeah,
points.
exactly.
Triple
But you
digits?
say no, but you say Rudy Gobert type. Who's just post up and get the hook shot for the most part.
Rudy Gobert didn't even do that. That's the thing. He didn't even get that far.
You know doing a hook shot.
Yeah, he's just dunking.
You just dunk.
Don't-
You get bored of watching that
close
kind of.
enough to
You
the
get,
rim.
you get bored. You want people with flavor, with some skill, some finesse.
some sauce.
Like who?
You know,
Kyrie.
Kyrie, Kevin Durant,
Jeez.
LeBron James. You want these kind of players. LeBron to get out.
See how
Look at the ball.
see how I
LeBron,
just tell the pop you at somebody.
you go put the man to go. LeBron look at the ball and they hit a three. So what everyone said, you need like the fans nowadays want to watch high scoring games. The days of these 80-point games, 70-point games, that's the thing they pass. People want to see buckets and they want to see players score at all time high level. So, the days of these.
But you also want to see some great defensive steals and blocks too.
You will see those, but ultimately you see a lot more offense. It's Mark Jackson has been saying that's good defense, but
that's just better offense. Yeah, Mark Jackson.
Yeah, like he says it the best.
Mark Jackson and Steph and Van Gundy.
Yeah, like that's just better offense. What you do with someone like Kevin Durant, 7 feet tall? What you do? We takes that jump shot.
7-foot shooter. That is deadly.
What you
do?
What can you do to stop that? You can't. It's only Kevin Durant that can stop that.
It's true. Only he can stop him, boy. So
and Jason Tatum.
I guess I gotta give Tatum his props because he really stepped up defensively over the past few seasons. But I just feel like Kevin Durant is one of those people that maybe there's like a few anomalies where somebody actually stop him, but the only boy that can really stop he is himself, and double teams or triple teams.
And Jason Tatum. I cannot let that slide. I cannot let that slide.
Come on, man.
Tatum.
Come on.
Well, man. I guess we'll see what happens when they meet again. I can't remember how the last game went between Nets and Celtics, but the way Nets been playing so far right now, we'll see what Jason Tatum could do against Kevin Durant. Plus 2, the Brooklyn Nets defense went up another notch, so that'll be an interesting matchup for sure. Excuse me. Let me get into Donovan Mitchell's 71-point game. The game did go into overtime.
Yep.
And he went to 7th gear, bro.
Dog.
Like, he cooked everybody on that. It was Buzz. It was against Buzz, right?
He was his trash on defense, man. Yeah.
Bro.
Besides Alex Caruso. But he alone can't save that team.
Tell me about it, Rayvon. Tell me about it. Like, it was interesting enough to see them, like, pull together and come back to that point, right? But then for the game to go into overtime and Donovan Mitchell dominate the court like he did, like, the effort that he put in was insane. And to be honest, like, you gotta give Jack his jacket.
Well, you gotta give him more than a jacket. No, you gotta give him a work. But I honestly, that's next level. And he played the entire second half and overtime. Hey, think about that. Man, you gotta be so. I don't know. I think
he had a Kobe-esque game.
He got drug test after that game, but I ain't bad for the NBA for drug testing.
Most definitely. Man shot 71 points.
71 points and played the whole second half of the game and overtime. Like,
but like, you come here.
Yeah, exactly.
But that also goes to show what these players are capable of. Yes, you want players in rotation because it's a long season, right? And you need players to be healthy for the opportunity of getting into conference finals and then potentially a finals game. So it's not to say that players can't pull off these feats in terms of high minutes, but I guess there's some argument to what you guys are saying that it is not normal for a guy to do that. But I can bet you that a couple of people could probably dig deep, and if they have to, play high minutes once or twice in the regular season.
Well,
they can. I mean, I feel like most players have that kind of conditioning, but what you will find that they might play an entire second half if the game is close and they really trying to win the game. But then you find sometimes what happens is when you go to overtime, those same players, those same players that were holding on the fort start to burn out, and they can't make a bucket. That's why you find a whole first overtime 5-point score between 5-point score by each team, which is ridiculous for that kind of time. So the players be drained and tired, but what Donovan Mitchell did.
But that also depends on how physical the game is too, right? Like, I guess there's a lot of factors that you could count.
You remember when KD? Remember
Yes,
KD in that
that's the
game
first
2
thing I
years,
think about
two
against the
is it 2
Bucks.
seasons ago against the Bucks? My man was putting on the fort in the ordinary time, regular
Yeah.
time.
He hit
Overtime
when he
came.
hit that
Yeah,
shot. If that was a trick, then that would have.
that was his last
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
After that, my energy bar went to zero. He had nothing left back in the
Exactly.
tank
Nothing.
because overtime came. Can buy a bucket?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's walk all over him. So
Airballing
it,
the
it's
shots
not
and
it's
thing.
not as it's not as easy as it sounds. It's really conditioning.
But I ain't saying that everybody could do it. I saying those who could do it could do it. That was my argument. People like you mentioned Giannis just now. Look at Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell look a guy that could put in them kind of minutes.
But Donovan's a young guy too. You can see he's a young buck.
KD is an older
Kid-
guy,
Yeah.
right? A little more flimsy. So if he get tossed around a couple of times, but you see KD structure though, right?
Man, he only
So,
looks up, but he got to
if
be a
he-
strong man too.
Yes, you gotta be strong, but if you get tossed around more than usual, especially if you're going into OT, your body gonna feel it more than a guy, let's say like Giannis,
Fair enough.
whole body seems
Yeah.
to be more conditioned than his.
Yeah.
But no,
I ain't
nobody tell
saying that
KD.
the man weak.
No one tell KD put on muscle. No one tell KD hit the gym a little more serious.
I
But
think
it's his
what
body type probably. It's
Yeah.
probably his body
I
type.
thought kid is the fit.
But
See
he-
here, that's what to do.
A sniper in the battlefield don't gotta be the fittest man. He just got to hit the
It's
shots.
true.
That's all he gotta do.
But he
The
need
front runners like Giannis and them men need to be fit like that. KD don't need to be like that. He shots from wherever he good. He good. But let me talk about Nets for a little bit. Change coaches, and this coach seemed to make the best of what he has with this Brooklyn Nets team. You want to chime in on that, Rayon?
I just felt like remove the drama, get some wins, and so far that's been the recipe for success for the Nets. Like there's nobody has doubted.
So you don't think the coach had nothing to do with
Well,
it?
yes, the coach has something to do with it. You got a different coach. You
Yeah.
not hearing the same person you had over and over for the past 2 seasons, which Steve Nash. I feel it as though he lost the team, and you could tell that from the point where last summer KD requested trade, and part of his conditions for staying after he voted was to have
Steve Nash
yes,
leave?
to have Steve Nash. If your star player can come out and do that, there's no way. If your star players don't buy into the coach, I don't see where the other players can follow suit. So from that point alone, it was going to be difficult for Steve Nash to galvanize that team, and to have their ear. And so happened, end up getting fired, and now in a better position where you start player buying into the coach that there, KD and Kyrie. So therefore, the rest of the team can follow, and that along with the fact that there's limited drama around them,
Yeah.
it could only mean good things. So
Well,
nobody. Go ahead, Hans.
I feel like Steve Nash was in La La Land. To be honest, I feel like he didn't really quite have a clue what to do. I know, yeah, he's a great player, but I find like if history has repeated itself, great players don't really make great coaches. They don't even make good coaches, to be honest. Whatever the criteria is, however their mindset is, they feel like these players should be able to do this, which is something that they could have done in their own careers, and they kind of overestimate players to a sense. But Steve Nash didn't have. I think he never quite won over his team. After time, Kerry could come on and say, "Day one, we don't need a coach."
Yeah,
How do you recover from that?
exactly.
I think he unfortunately he had a couple of unlucky breaks. Being COVID, being some of his players not being vaccinated, Kyrie, and I think that really hindered his team. This year you have Kyrie for the full season. If Kyrie was available for the full season last year, I do not believe that they would be in the playing tournament. I believe they would have been maybe the fourth seed, third seed. They probably would have made the playoffs convincingly. So I mean, Steve Nash had it unlucky, but you cannot dispute the coach is making the difference. You have a better coach, a man who's seasoned, and they're second in the East right now.
But that's an interesting point that you made a little bit earlier, just now, where you said that Kyrie was alluding to to the statement that they don't need a coach. What do you feel the role of a coach really is? Is it to really tell players what to do and how to do it, or is it to manage the personalities and the talents that they have been given
Both.
for the
It's
team?
both. You gotta be able to first thing manage your
Yeah,
personalities.
exactly. You gotta start with that.
Assess your players' strengths and weaknesses, and then obviously incorporate drills, practice sessions to improve on the weaknesses, and as well as to highlight the strengths and to improve on your strengths. So it's really just to reduce your weaknesses and to improve on your strengths. And of course, you gotta manage different personalities, manage your superstars, keep everyone happy. Different personalities, a lot of egos. When you got a lot of stars on the team, unfortunately, I don't feel the treatment as you see him. You're not gonna treat a star player, you see me treat your bench player. It's just you would like it to be fair, but that's just not the way the world works. So that's the way I think that's the purpose of a coach.
Fair enough. And I think too that they also have to control the environment and like create a culture where the players could thrive, where all the players could thrive and develop some level of coherence and stuff like that. So with that said, we can take a little break and then we can come back and we can talk about our marquee matchups for next week. Hopefully this one goes well for most of us. And, and yeah, we'll see you in a few people's. Welcome back, Hostro family. We dive right into the market matchups for this week. Cleveland versus Utah Jazz. Again with Cleveland. Thank you. There we go. There
Boy,
we
yeah.
go.
Donovan Mitchell left a mark for you.
Yep. 71 is a is a good mark, boy.
Laurie Marketing also playing great basketball at the moment too. One of my
That's
All Star
fine.
picks um, for the All Star game coming up in the next couple of weeks. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
My
who
God,
are in for Cleveland because he's got to check them things too. Um,
That's the thing about early predictions.
yeah, so
I remember
I can take a
one
risk.
prediction the man had, the man thought certain man was going to be out. Next thing you know, certain man that was going to be out was in, and certain
Yeah,
man that was in and out
exactly.
mess up the whole prediction.
Yeah.
So
Um,
it is what it is. It is how we play the game.
I can take a chance with Cleveland as well because I feel like
I'm
is a
taking
take a
okay
a
team.
chance.
Yeah,
chance.
Try to
yeah,
take a
no,
chance.
because Utah could beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
Anybody could beat
Anybody,
Pistons.
yes.
Pistons could beat Cleveland.
Well, I mean they're playing at home.
All you
I'm
gotta do is
pretty
pick
sure they.
Utah Jazz Hakeem. That's all you gotta do.
Now I picking Cleveland.
But
I love if Cleveland lose.
well, we will all be three fools.
I
Understand?
was so bad. Pacers versus Knicks. Ray, we can start with you.
Again, Pacers. I like how the Pacers playing as of late. Tyrese Halliburton is one of my picks for the All Star game too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Miles Turner playing pretty good. I think they got a team equipped to play some decent. They ain't really known for defensive uh, efficiency, but decent defense on the Knicks and play better offense for sure. So
And I feel it. I feel it in the Nets.
okay,
Fair enough. People's like I said before, I'm not going to support Knicks or Lakers, even if they're doing well. So go with Pacers
like I generally
on both of them this year so far, and it didn't work out well. So I ain't stick to my guns. Milwaukee versus Heat. Before we start, Heat had a game against Brooklyn Nets. AD went out in the fourth, and Nets kind of brought it back, but Heat still look pretty good. Jimmy
yeah
Butler and those guys still look pretty good.
yeah
So I would say it's more hats off to the Nets for pulling it together and getting the team over that hump. But anyways, I digress. Um, Hakeem, who you choosing? Choosing Heat.
Nah, Milwaukee.
What?
Milwaukee.
I can't keep
Milwaukee.
this one, boy.
Wait, Chris Middleton's still out, right?
You to my knowledge, yeah.
Okay.
Well, he
Milwaukee.
came
Just,
back and
just
they ended up back out again, so there's that. But
Hmm.
yeah, pretty
You,
sure he.
you, you, you know how long he out for or no?
I could chat and see. But let me see injuries. ESPN.
Boy, Giannis might go pull a Giannis-esque game against the Heat because
Yeah,
Tyler Hero was shotting recently.
yeah. Bam playing real good recently.
Yeah, Bam still doing his thing. Jimmy buckets, he can give you
no comeback.
buckets.
Um,
And Kyle Lowry's good support. So I feel like overall in terms of team talk, I think he is a better team right now. That's the truth.
yeah,
Don't
probably.
mind.
I think them surgeon. I
Bonnie
would call
Knight.
them.
What do you say, Hakeem?
On the night. It's a better team
On
in
the
the
night
7
is
series.
Heat.
But on the-
You
on the-
think
on the night-
you
on the night,
you think we
Bucks.
talking early morning? When he's man playing in the evening, buddy. On the court, or you can say on the night. On the court, I think he is a better team right now. But
we shall see.
And there's a harder team right now anyway. So there's also that.
Heat.
no puns included. I mean, and
Intended.
but yeah, intended. I think he is a way to go to Hakeem. You sure you want to stay with Milwaukee?
They're 5-5 in the last 10. The Bucks are just 4 and 6. Not
but
really
how
big
many?
difference.
All right. How many games?
4 and 6 is below
and they-
50 though.
And they're bogus against Buying.
Yeah, but you say they're 5-5 in the last 10. But how much they are
They
in the
could have been
last
6 and 4.
5? How much in the last 5? That's what you're saying. Like, this is the team that coming, like, looking up. I think they won a couple games recently.
It's-
They got to be on some
it's
sort of
mo-
winning streak at least.
This man
History.
about to give Hakim a statistics class. Don't do that.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's just a
Hakim
matter of
yeah.
knowledge. I'm pretty sure the Heat gotta be on. They probably lost it, or they lost then last game. Frig, then they was coming up though. If they know
Against who?
against the Nets. Wait, what is
Right,
games
is
that
he
you was talking
Nets,
about?
B?
Right. Before that, they
And
had one.
coming up to like
They
the
were
final play.
they had won 3 of their last 4 before that game. So they were looking up in that regard. I put my money on the Heat still.
That was never
Right.
planning to change. I want to say if Hakim can change him out. I was like,
Nah,
we'll see.
solid. Bucks all the way for this game.
She boy, ignore Hakim again like an idiot. If he go train all this week, look.
Bucks all the way.
Wait, so you know it's true because Hakim choose against Green.
Yeah, for most of them.
Two of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 of them.
But-
Most.
But the way how he points looking though, I don't think even if he get a train all week, I don't think he could catch up. He still got a ways to go.
Wait, well, if he
few
get a train
ways.
all week, that means. But yeah, no.
A bit two up. If I get 3, now I get 2+ on y'all.
What?
No, you won't get.
Cause y'all check.
Right, we choose
Cause y'all
one.
pick.
We will got
You
one
see,
as the same.
everybody chose.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody chose one the same. And the other 2 I chose differently.
Right. So we will only get 1 point additional. He would get 2. Well,
But
he would get.
but-
3,
We get
actually.
we get
three.
2. Yeah, we get 2 up on y'all.
Yeah, 2 up on as you say.
all for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the week. Yeah.
I wasn't talking about the week. That's what you had me. Because I was like, huh? Where? How?
So right now,
Never.
right now at
Math
20,
don't work.
right now at 20, you at 16, Hakeem. If you get
Yeah,
3, you'll be at
16.
19. That will only be at 21. So he'll only be like 2 behind me. If you get what you're saying.
I ain't gonna lie. If Hakim get a train all week, that's an anomaly, though, man. That's you luck for the year, dog. So
For the
so
year,
don't
the year
let you
no-
luck
the
on
year-
that.
The year
Huh?
no start. The year no start.
I know the year no start,
He luck-
but luck does
luck-
run out.
Luck no get luck no being sprinkled.
Alright, you must feed the donuts. You feel like you can put as much as that as you want. That's cool. Also, you people see the predictions. Pray for Hakim.
It's
So
true.
we got we got Cleveland, everybody at Cleveland, and then we got Pacers, myself and Rayvon, Hakim with Knicks, and then myself and Rayvon with Heat, and Hakim going with Milwaukee. I think that Milwaukee Heat game should be a
Could
good
tight.
game.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's a matinee game, not 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I find that a lot of teams when they play at that start time, they just come out a little bit slow. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see. That might be a low scoring game, maybe.
No
Maybe.
way, cannot.
Yeah.
I mean, it could also be a lower scoring game, depending on the
defense,
defensive acumen of each
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So looking forward for that one for sure, because Hakim was adamant, like he stick to your guns. Much respect for sticking to your guns, even though I tried to see if he was going to switch online. Let me
Yeah.
transition into the news, into world sports news.
Well, I guess we can begin a little segment-ish sort of scene. So as we would have posted on the Instagram, for those who follow me on Instagram, or who is not following, don't forget to follow Hastra Bros at Hastra Bros on Instagram, and so you can get some updates on some things that we plan to talk about, any videos that we post, the predictions, the prediction results, etc., etc. So go over to
So,
Instagram right away.
Everything
and hit that
in the
follow
bottom
button.
right.
Yep. So we're gonna transition into some motocross. We got a big motocross fan here on the Hastra
Motocross
Bros.
and Supercross,
Yeah.
and I know
All sorts of
everybody makes it
cross.
to SuperMotoCross.
All sorts of cross. So we just want to explore it a little bit, see if it's something that anybody else is interested. So once again, take a few minutes to talk about what's happening in the Super Motocross at the moment. A little tournament that they have going on. Well, I don't know if it's little. You tell me how big it is. I am about to be a little
big,
bit.
bro.
I can be a student. Me and Hakim can both be students right now to have some master class on Supercross.
Nah,
So-
I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but I feel like for these new segments, I should put on, a suit tie and do like a little broadcast,
It's true.
But yeah, like Raymond said, we can look to do these little new segments with these sports. And if you guys want some more analysis on these other sports, like deeper analysis, just let us know. But Supercross has started last weekend, Saturday night. Anaheim won, famously known as A1 in Angel Stadium in California. It was a long-awaited, I guess, season opener for me, just because I felt like I had too much time off from Supercross, even though I don't ride motorcycles like that. 250 class started, and once again, you know, the expectations was big for the Austin Faulkner versus Jack Lawrence fight versus Cameron McAdoo and those guys. And unfortunately, Austin Faulkner had a rough night in the heat race. He had a big hiccup, cost him. He had to fight his way through the pack, ended up placing third in that heat race. And then on the season opener main event, unfortunately, he tangled up with the best of the rest and didn't even make the first corner. Crazy crash. Unfortunate for Austin Faulkner. And it's a big bummer for fans too, because fans want to see the best of the best go at it. So that was a little bit kind of disappointing. But these things do happen. This is Supercross. You're going to see epic crashes throughout the entire season. Some people make mistakes. People get tired and they go too hard, make mistakes or whatever. Or some things are just unlucky and these things do happen. So once again, Austin Faulkner is in crash news. Hopefully he's good and he's able to make it in Oakland next week. And of course, the man himself, Jet Lawrence, he's going to give him a good run for his money, and hopefully he doesn't win everything. You know, I want to see a good mix there. Moving on to the 450 class. Crazy night of racing in the 450 class. Good to see Ken Rotson back up in the front. He had an early season exit last year, so it's good to see him back again. This time he's on Factory Suzuki. I don't think it's Factory Suzuki, but he's on the Suzuki team nonetheless. And he had a big showing in the first couple of last week. Every week tuning in with your boys. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Leave some comments in the comment section if you feel to. Leave a like on the video because I told you. And we will see you later. Family. Peace. Hasher Bros out.
Peace.